Okay.
If you either can buy stock on the package of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, or Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, which stock are you buying?
Now, am I looking at a 5-year run, or am I looking at trying to harvest a bunch of gains here before February? I mean, I think it's a
No, going
question.
forward. I think this is a long-term thing. Now going forward.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be shocked at my answer. I think Jordan Love is a much better quarterback as we sit here right now than your guy. As far as coaching, Ben Johnson he still has a lot to prove, obviously, but what he's done has been fantastic, and what he did in Detroit. So I would lean, because I think the gap at quarterback is, I think pretty substantial as we sit here right now. Okay?
Do you believe the Bears are for real?
So here's the deal. I'm not going to go that far. What I will say is they've had a fantastic season up to this point, better than I for surely thought. And when you look at how they've went about their business, they deserve a lot of respect. And I think most of it from our end up here is what you did to Philly. You've had some wins and some real close games. You beat Pittsburgh and some other games that you deserve credit for, but it just has felt like you've kind of, I'm not going to say lucked into it, but you've won the turnover battle and you've won some really close games. And prior to last week, I believe you guys had a negative on the points. You were in the negative, even though you were had a great record. So last week really put from my perspective, it's like the Bears are coming, because what you did to Philadelphia running the football was incredibly impressive. And when you're looking at what Green Bay, some of the struggles we've had in games that we've lost or had tight matchups with, teams have jammed the ball down our throat. Carolina had a good day running the football against us. The New York Giants did. So with what you did last week, that to me elevated the Bears. And obviously you're, a 1 seed now. That really elevated. So yes, I think you have to take the Bears very seriously. Are they for real as far as winning a Super Bowl right now? It feels early to me, but what Ben Johnson has done with that team and built that confidence up deserve a lot of credit.
I have a lot of respect for your team, Tausch, but I would ask you the same question about the Packers. Are the Packers for real? Because I can go through your guys' schedule as well and point to a loss to the Panthers in Green Bay, a loss to the Browns early in the season. Didn't play well against the Eagles, obviously. Like, there are blemishes on an 8-3-1 record as well. Are the Green Bay Packers for real, in your opinion?
So, very fair point, and I would in turn ask you guys: is there anybody in the NFL that's for real?
Tausch, I've said now for weeks, even with them going to Carolina and getting beat, I still think that the Rams are the only team in the NFC that I would say that mountain's too tall to climb.
I think so. To answer your question about the Packers, they've been inconsistent, but it does feel like we've turned a corner offensively. We really struggled when Tucker Kraft, we lost him for the season. I think it was a hard time trying to figure out where we were going to get that production, and we've had some injuries at the wide receiver spot. We had lost our center, and we've had to kind of move some people around on the inside. But I'll say this, at our ceiling, I do believe so. I think we are for real. Now, can we do that consistently? This month is obviously going to be a huge test to see that. But it just feels like if the Bears play their best game and the Packers play their best game, the Packers are better. Now, does that mean that's what's going to happen? Absolutely not. But just looking at it from that perspective, we have played some real clunkers, and it's come against teams outside of Philly that we should beat, especially at home. But offensively, it does. Defensively, other than the Cowboys game, we've been really good all year. Offensively, we have not. But it just feels like with Christian Watson emerging and our offensive line kind of starting to come together a little bit more, and Jordan Love is starting to get hot, I am starting to feel better and better about where this team's at.
By the way, Mark Tauscher and all of our football guests brought to you by your local Chicagoland Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota-thon.
The Toyota-thon reference.
Love is unbelievable, guys. You know that.
I know. Like, it's what reminded me of to read that there, or to say that there because of Jordan Love Toyota-thon. So I'll ask you this. If you're buying stock right now, take your bias out if you can.
Okay.
If you either can buy stock on the package of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, or Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, which stock are you buying?
Now, am I looking at a 5-year run, or am I looking at trying to harvest a bunch of gains here before February? I think
No, going forward. I think this is a long-term thing. Now going forward.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be shocked at my answer. I think Jordan Love is a much better quarterback as we sit here right now than your guy. As far as coaching, Ben Johnson he still has a lot to prove, obviously, but what he's done has been fantastic, and what he did in Detroit. So I would lean, because I think the gap at quarterback is, I think pretty substantial as we sit here right now. That's where I'm going to lean. I think Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur, he's had some ups and downs this season, but his track record through 6 and 7 years has been really good. I'm going to take Matt LaFleur, and I'm going to take Jordan Love, but I'll say compared to where it was a humongous gulch, if you were looking at last year, the gap has narrowed significantly with what you guys have been able to do this year.
We don't name call, Tausch, but there are times where we think, well, and we don't name call. That's more cap. Yeah, I would say that we've said that LaFleur has douchey qualities.
Wow.
Is that accurate or not?
Well, just wait a second. Was there anything douchier than Ben Johnson's opening presser and trying to take a pot shot at Matt LaFleur? That was Douche City, USA.
Well, that's just facts. He was just saying that his resume was beating him twice a year.
Hey, Silvy, tell me something LaFleur's done that's douchier than what he did.
By that way, that Bears press conference brought to you by Massengale.
Well, maybe kicking a field goal down, what was that, a few years ago, right? That's pretty douchey.
If you want to start talking about game decisions, that was the NFC Championship game. He kicked the field goal.
Up 8 or down 8, right? Instead of
4. Oh, just hold up a second. On 4th and 6 or 4th and 7. And by the way, if they don't call a jersey tug on, I don't even remember which DB we had, we get the ball back down 5, go down and score to win. So, you can say that, and I know fans are still upset about that, but analytically, I don't think it was like a crazy idea, because if we don't get it, we're still down 8. We got to get a touchdown and that. But when you're starting to go down that road, now Ben rips his shirt off and he gets you guys hot dogs throughout the city of Chicago. That obviously, takes away some of that initial douchiness. But let's not act.
What has LaFleur done for you guys? What has he done? What is he dropping his pants for beef sandwiches? What has he done for you guys?
I don't know if there's anything food related.
Okay.
Matt LaFleur, but I will say,
but winning 80% of your games.
He was the winningest coach in the history of the NFL through 3 seasons.
Okay, that's fair. That's so fair. So fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair. Don't you think, though, Tausch, that I was trying to say it to you guys today, too, when you're introduced as the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, it's football theater, and you also have to acknowledge the Bears and Packers rivalry. You got to throw a little red meat out there. And I don't think that Ben Johnson was trying to be douchey about it. I think he was just trying to acknowledge that, hey, we need to get this rivalry pointed in the right direction in our favor. Come on. Not douchey.
I don't have any problem with what he did, but when Silvy comes at our coach about being douchey, I'm going to throw it back.
It was a question. You got offended.
You were no. Come on.
Would you say that, Taus? Would you say that Silvy was being kind of a douche in his question?
Total douche.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been more douchey.
Guilty.
It was even more douchey than the initial press conference. But Waddle, no question. You throw red meat out to your fans, and Lovie Smith did it. I remember we were playing. And I thought it was, looking back at it, you need to, especially when you're struggling. Like when we were in the 80s and early 90s, our coaches needed to acknowledge, with Ditka and everything. We were getting our breaks beat in. We needed to make sure our fans knew, hey, in order for us to get where we want to go, we have to beat the Bears, and that rivalry is important to our fans. So I didn't have any problem with him throwing that out there, but with Silvy trying to act like that was the coolest thing on earth, like I couldn't let that go.
Yeah, you got to stop that. Tell me,
who's the douche?
Seriously, I can't, Tausch. I really can't wrap my brain around who. I can't decide how I feel about Jordan Love. And I said the other day, you watch film of him, and sometimes he looks like Aaron Rodgers in his prime, and sometimes he looks like Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform because it vacillates. And I know the stats. He's completing 67%, 19 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, but it doesn't. From my perspective, it still feels like it's inconsistent. It's not complete yet. How do you feel about your quarterback?
I feel a lot better about him than what you just said. I think early in this season, he was a little bit loose with the football. There's, I think the Detroit opener, there was a couple of balls that either were picked off and there were penalties. He obviously made a critical mistake against Cleveland. But just looking at his maturity, he's confident that he can make these throws. That throw on 4th down last week was crazy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
To close the game up.
Yeah.
He can do some really special things, and he's only in his 3rd year as a starter. Is he going to be perfect? No. But to say he looks anything close to what Rodgers looked like in his Pittsburgh uniform last week, with the blood coming down his nose and a cast, I don't see that. I do see some semblances of maybe a young Favre where he's going to take some chances, and maybe it's not the smartest, but he's getting more and more consistent as the weeks go by. That is going to be the thing. Can he get to be where he is consistently making the right decision, putting the ball in the receiver's hands? Because there was a game where I think he was 12 for 25, and he had 6 or 7 drops.
Yeah,
he knows where to go with the football. And I think that's where, that development where you don't need to take shots every play. I think you said it this morning, Tommy. Take the layups.
Yeah.
Take the easy ones. That helps that completion percentage because I'm sure that's something Bear fans are, looking at from Caleb and saying you need to get that up where you can be in that upper 60s because for Jordan, he struggled with that early in his career too. Yeah. He wanted to make big plays. He wanted to throw it into tight windows. And he was in that low 60s, and our fans were saying the same thing. You can't win in this league throwing that percentage. You need to be above 65% with the way the league is going. Jordan has done that, and he's limiting his turnovers. So that's why I think we're feeling really good about where Jordan's at.
Sylvie, haven't you called him a fraud? What was the word you used about Jordan?
Mirage.
It's
a mirage.
Okay.
It's a Toyota-thon mirage.
Okay.
He's not all that.
Yeah. But another douchey comment from your perspective, I'm sure, Tausch.
Yeah, I get it. I don't want to. I do, but I'm sure Sylvia doesn't want to be out in that swing this week. It's cold. It's -3. So he's going to want to have mirages and everything else. But, if things go the way that I hope they go, he's going to be out there sitting on that swing doing Lord knows what, thinking about mirages as Jordan Love throws for 303 touchdowns. That is more of a mirage, I think, on his end.
If the Bears lose this game, I won't be on the swing unless something colossal happens. But if they get swept by the Packers, that will be a possible.
What if you make the playoffs and win a playoff game and still you get swept by the Packers?
Oh, bring it! If the Bears get into the playoffs and win a playoff game, I'm not one of these guys who, you can go 2-15, beat the Packers twice.
I agree. All right, how about this? What if you get swept by the Packers and they crush you in the first round of the playoffs?
So we're 0-3?
0-3, and you've made no ground up on the Green Bay Packers.
Swing City. I may come over for a swing myself.
I'll be sitting on Waddle's lap. That swing.
By the way, speaking of douches, the two of us are douches. We still haven't paid off our bet to Taus from months ago.
That's on him. That's on him.
How is that on him?
Guys, I want to say thank you because you're always looking for research, and I text Sylvie early, like last weekend, figuring we'd jump on and do each other's shows. You guys owe us 2 pizza parties because we doubled up. I offered to go a double or nothing last year. You passed, and then I offered again this week. You're 9-3. You're the top of the world.
We got to do it.
You're the top of the NFC.
Yeah. On one game or the series?
One game.
No, on one game.
You're picking them to win.
I didn't say picking them to win.
Yes, you
I
did.
then figured out where Bear fans were at, and I got my hypothesis that Bear fans are excited about the fact that you've gotten better, but you're not opening your heart up to get broken again by the Packers at Lambeau, because that would just crush you. You're still holding out that you're not there yet. And that's why
we've got to bet. We have to bet on both games. Then we just can't go this game in Green Bay.
Why don't we go? We bet on this one, and if we lose, we double up again on the bet.
I'll give you opportunities to double.
We'll double it.
And by the way, why I said that it's on Tausch, I've texted Tausch before where I say when can we pay this off?
You guys know. It's not on you that we haven't gotten – like, you guys have been great on that. You would no doubt ship up what you were supposed to.
Yes.
But I'm saying I like having it over you a little bit, if I'm being honest. And then I also enjoy the fact I can gauge where your real confidence level's at, and Silvy let me know last weekend after you ran the ball down Philly's throats and had one of your best wins in years.
The bet's on. What do you mean?
Okay, the bet's on.
Well, if it doesn't go our way, we'll double it again next time when they come down here in 3 weeks.
Win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just wait a second. So is the bet on or is it not?
It's on. Oh, it's
doubled
on.
up. So it could be a four-piece.
Oh, yeah.
To a double.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Four pizza parties.
We are all in on it.
Really quick, Tausch, before we let you go, we brought you in at the beginning talking about Urlacher. Who do you remember most for whatever reason, whether it was a guy that you liked playing against, that you talked some smack with on the other side of the line? Who do you remember most playing against in your playing days with the Packers when it came to the Bears?
I'll tell you, I loved playing against the Bears because I know from our end, I can't speak to those guys. We respected the heck out of that group, and we knew it was always going to be a fun battle. I loved playing against Urlacher and Briggs and, Hunter Hillenmeyer. And obviously, respect-wise, we were Peanut Tillman. The amount of balls he punched out, and it just seemed like he always made a play. Whenever we'd lose to the Bears, it felt like Peanut Tillman or Urlacher make a big play. And we would sit there and we would say, we're not going to let Urlacher make tackles, or we're not going to let Briggs. And we'd look up, and Lance Briggs would have 18 tackles.
Yeah.
So it just there was so much respect from our end on that defensive front and that defensive group. I could name 7 other guys, but those would be the core group that I would mention.
All right, and if you have to win one game, you're back, you're playing, you have to win one game to win it all. Are you on Favre or Rodgers starting for you?
I always say Brooks Bollinger would be the guy I would pick. He was my quarterback at the University of Wisconsin.
That's right. Run Dane in the backfield too, right?
Get Dane in the backfield, and we just pound it. Just like you guys did to Philly last week. That's the approach we take.
There you go. Tausch, great stuff as always. You do great work. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. And I just want to confirm now, you've backtracked, and now
That's
you
on.
have some fake confidence coming into the weekend. Is that what's happened?
Fake confidence?
No, not you, Waddle. I'm talking Silvy.
I
feel like Waddle just goaded you into, forcing you into taking this wager.
I am optimistic, but yet I'm still skeptical.
You're scared.
Skeptically optimistic, like you've said before, Waddle.
Euphorically realist.
Yeah.
I'm a euphoric realist.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this, for the first time in years, Tausch.
By the way, we're in the bowels of Hallis Hall right now, so I think it's incumbent on us to make sure we do make this wager.
Okay. Well, we're in. I just wanted to confirm.
That's good.
I didn't want Silvy to feel bullied by you, Tommy, because that's what it felt like to me.
You'll be getting 4 mini pizzas. That's how we pay it off. Our little
pan pizzas,
little personal pan pizzas for Pizza Hut.
Send them a few Connie's frozen pizza gift cards.
Amen.
All right, Tausch, great stuff.
Thanks, Tausch.
All right. See you guys.